Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. How we all doing today, guys? Yeah, my God, busy, 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 busy. Um, Fortunately, today, after the run of this storm and this cold snap with these no heat calls, I was on the phone till 10 o'clock last night dealing with customers, and I'm like, you know what? I called and moved a couple things around this morning, so I'm like, I'm getting pushed, and I see myself starting to slip into just old work behaviors where I'm allowing, emergency stuff, and I satisfied them all. There was no heat, no hot water calls. It was all other things this morning, so I put everything off this morning. I slept in till 9:30. I went to the gym and stayed at the gym till about 11 o'clock. And then I came out and took care of a couple service calls, hopped in the Bobcat, went and buttoned up some stuff, including digging out one of my garages so I can get to more snow equipment. And still ended up having a very profitable, great day. My friend Doug's dad called. He needed some firewood delivered, so I went and delivered him firewood. And just took a slower paced day trying to get back to some semblance of normalcy. And it felt really good to get back in the gym. Had a fantastic day at the gym. I was going to attempt to break my record at 380. And the guy beside me was just too, and I get it. I mean, he was being nice, and I'm not mad at him in any way. But he was just not going to let me do it without forcing a spot, and I just didn't want. First of all, I didn't need a spot. I'm trying to explain to the guy, no, I do this all the time. It's only a 5-pound increase from my current max, and I've taken almost a week off. But the guy was insisting, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna back off because I don't want some strangers nuts in my face, right? And simple as that. But again, it was the guy was being kind, and he come up and he's like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe you throw that kind of weight around. And I'm like, and this guy was probably half my age and twice my size, and I'm like, been coming consistent for a year, and God's doing a thing with me, and I left it at that. And I love that to you guys. It's something I say with levity, but it's honestly how I feel. Like God has completely just done miracles in every area of my life that I've been consistently working on with me. I mean, I'm seeing miraculous gains in my finances, in my health, in my strength, in my community, in my recovery. Like it's beautiful, guys. That's why I get on here every day and really hope that people are hearing and trying these lessons, because guys, we have the power. After somebody that felt so powerless for so long, and again, we have it by surrendering. Like what I was doing wasn't working. What God is doing through me is working unbelievably well, and all I got to do is play my part. I don't have to fix the world. I don't have to do anything outside of the scope of my lane. And obviously trying to help as many others in that purview as well. But like I don't have to manipulate. I don't have to do all this craziness. And the most important thing that I do have to do is remember every day that I'm an addict. Because that's the thing. Any other time in my life, guys, things not going this good, I'd be like, oh, I got this. I'm not an addict. Look, I just had to stop doing drugs. And look how good I'm doing now. No, that's what I'd done every other time, and I failed miserably because I took my will back. I succeed today by continuing to seek God's will and the power to carry that out, and I do that very seriously, and it's working unbelievably, guys. I am an addict. I'm an addict today. I will be an addict tomorrow, and so long as I accept that and work my recovery program, then there's nothing that can stop me from doing anything good in this world. That's the title of the reading today, guys. It says, the Just for Today NA meditation is an everyday addict. So, an everyday addict. We can never fully recover no matter how long we stay clean or sober. After getting a little time in the program, some of us begin to think we've been cured. We have learned everything that recovery has to teach us. We've grown bored with the meetings, and our sponsor keeps droning on about that same old refrain, the steps, the steps, the steps. We decide it's time to get on with our lives, cut way back on meetings, and try to make up for the years we have lost in active addiction. Boy, does that sound like my story prior to this one, right? And that's why I failed every time. Those of us... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so we decided it's time to get on with our lives, cut way back in meetings, and try to make up for the years we've lost in active addiction. We do this, however, at the peril of our recovery, just like I just said. Those of us who have relapsed after such an episode often try to go to as many meetings we can. Some of us go to a meeting every day for many years. It may take that long for us to understand that we will always be an addict. We may feel well some days and sick on others, but we are addicts every day. At any time, we are subject to the delusion, denial, rationalization, justification, the insanity, all the hallmarks of typical addicts' way of thinking. If we want to continue living and enjoying life without the use of drugs, we must practice an active program of recovery each and every day. And then the affirmation is just for today. I am an addict each and every day, but today I have the choice to be a recovering addict. I make that choice by working my recovery program daily. Guys, very simply put, and incredibly true. And for myself, again, guys, I don't like. I get on here and I speak for myself because I'm not trying to call anybody out. And I think, again, as we see in our meetings, we all have so many identifying features that we all suffer from. And no matter what our walk of life, what our financial background, what our race, creed, religion, sexual identity, any of it, addiction cuts across all of it, and we suffer the same types of things, right? So these recovery meetings just make us a community and inclusive. And I get up, but again, I get on here and I use myself an example, and that's part of humility. I'm not afraid to put myself out there today because, again, I own my own business. I'm not having any bosses that are going to be watching. I don't care who sees this. I wear my recovery as a cape today, right? Recovery is my superpower, and you can do the same, guys. It's so much easier. But again, my point was in the past, I would get a little bit of stability because that's one thing I've never had in my life, guys. I've been an addict since I was 10 years old. I never had stability, so I get into early recovery. Excuse me, I got a pimple coming. It's very itchy. I get into early recovery and I start gaining things because, again, I work very hard. I always have, but I've always worked really hard and had absolutely nothing to show for it because of addiction and my behaviors. So I get into early recovery, and all of a sudden I get a job, and I start saving some money because I'm not spending it all on drugs. And I'm like, oh, I'm cured. I don't have to go to meetings. I don't have to engage with this. Blah 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 blah. And literally, within hours of being out of a structured environment, halfway house, whatever, jail, wherever I happen to be, I would fail. The first time drugs were either offered to me, or I got a little stressed out, or I didn't know what to do, or I got bored, or I was happy, or I was angry, I was lonely, I was tired, excited, anything, I would turn to drugs because it's all I knew. So this time around, thank God, and I mean that, thank you, God, my higher power. Call yours what you will. Don't be boxed up by my call, mine, God. It's just that every one of us has our own higher power, guys. Seek yours, find it, right? It's what's made all the difference to me. And, so anyway, this time I understood that I needed to work a recovery program. I needed to accept the fact and embrace the fact that I'm an addict. Because here's the thing, guys. You running around denying it and trying to belittle it, all it does is put you at risk. This time I've embraced it and said, okay, well, that's fine. If I'm an addict, there's a certain set of parameters that I have to work within. And if I do the safeguards and I work my program however I need to, then it doesn't affect me in any other way. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna find a way to love it. Because if I got to do it anyway, I'm gonna find meetings that I love. I'm gonna join a community of people that I respect and I enjoy, and I look forward to speaking with and meeting with, and I'm gonna make myself of service because that's what makes me feel good about myself. I've embraced recovery. I've accepted the fact that, yeah, and it's okay. So if I'm an everyday addict, I'm going to put my life on display, and then I'm going to challenge myself to step up and overcome this. Doesn't mean I'm going to cure it, but I'm going to overcome it on a daily basis, and I'm going to thrive. And I made that promise to God, and God gave me the download that if I did that He would show me a life like I've never imagined. And guys, you got to understand how, it was terrifying in the early days because I'm like, well, I don't know what that means. I literally did no. And this is the download that I was getting in my prayers and after my prayers and my meditations. And I'm like, well, obviously it's better than what I have, so yeah, I'm gonna do it. But again, I didn't know anything, and that's part of what how I show God trust. I don't seek all the answers. I go in there with blind faith and say, okay, I will keep my positive attitude. I will embrace my recovery. I will put my life out there for anybody to whatever see, judge. Doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is my relationship with myself and my relationship with my higher power. I said that from day one, and I trusted fully. I mean, guy even called it out on video. Said, "You wait and see. 6 months, 1 year from now, my life will be so much different." What I could not have imagined is how many. Again, by practicing in all my affairs and all areas of my life, it's so much better in so many different ways, guys. I I tell people all the time as I get to know people and they become members of the channel. I said, do me, you want to see the power of recovery? Go back and watch my first video and understand that was me 1 year ago. I look 10, 15 years younger, guys. I'm 75 pounds heavier. I don't have the bags under my eyes. I don't have skin growths. I have teeth now. Like, I have strength. I'm not embarrassed to look at myself. And again, I'm not saying I'm some GQ supermodel, but I'm healthy. I have clarity. I have self-respect. I have a sense of self-worth. All these things that I never had, and they're so powerful. It's, I can walk into any room today and know who I am and know that I have every right, just like everybody else, to be there. Sounds pretty simple, right? Not to somebody that was, just belittled by addiction for 30 years. I never felt like I was deserving or had earned my position to be anywhere, because it was everything I was doing was a facade. It was a house of cards, and the slightest wind just blew it all to hell, because I was always doing everything sideways. I was taking my self-will and I was manipulating outcomes that didn't make any logical sense. Yet I needed that to get through the day. And then I wonder why I was like spinning my wheels on a quagmire. I don't have to do that today. I just accept, surrender. Like, I'm an addict. I cannot manage my own life on my own. So I've invited a never-ending, unfathomable power into my life to help me. God. I mean, God's created this entire universe, multiverse, dimension, whatever there is, way beyond my scope of what my brain can handle, and keeps it all going. And then has enough attention and enough capacity to hear my prayers and then answer them. That's amazing. Talk about a power, right? So I've invited that power into my life, and I show reverence to that power. First thing every morning before I do anything else other than me use the bathroom. And then the last thing I do every day is drop to my knees and again go through my prayers and speak to my God and just have my conversation and giving him thanks. I don't make demands. I don't say this is what I occasionally will say, God, this is what I would like. If this meets your will, please let me know and show me the path to get there. But first and foremost, let it be your will. I don't have to know what your will is, but just show me the signs, and I will take the leaps of faith. If I'm doing it wrong, correct me. And that's a scary thing, because I've seen the power in prayer, and I've been corrected many, many times, guys. I don't say it proud, but I've been corrected. I've been sentenced to prison like 15 times, and that kills me, because I'm also a college-educated, intelligent, kind, compassionate human being. And yet I allowed myself to be sentenced to prison 15 times. If you told me back when I was 18 and even out of my mind that I was going to go to prison 15 times, I probably wouldn't get up the next day. Out of just sheer fear. But I've survived all that because God kept me safe through all that. I came through unscathed. And when I say I don't have any scars, I mean, I have plenty of physical scars. Believe me, but I wear them as badges of honor today, because I know what I've put myself through, and I know what God's kept me safe through. And I also now I know what success feels like too. And again, I'm not saying I'm balling, but I'm well on my way, and I've transformed and made miraculous comebacks in this just over a year. Coming up on close to 13 months. I think we're about 10 days away from 13 months. It's shocking to me what has happened in my life. Just the way that I look at myself, the way that I feel I have purpose in life. I never had purpose in life. Addiction has given me purpose, because now I'm here to fight addiction. And I can only do that if I remain clean and work my recovery program every day of my life. I will never be cured, and that's okay. And I understand that they can be overwhelming, and that's why we say keep it in a day, right? Stay clean for today, because any one of us can do that. And if you can't do that, stay clean for an hour, and then stack your time. But I'm okay with that today. And it doesn't mean I won't be tomorrow, and I'll keep it in a day if I have to tomorrow. But I'm looking at today, and I understand. I've been given a clean slate, and I've been given an opportunity. I can either fight tooth and nail trying to live my old life, struggling and living a life that requires medication, and try to do it unmedicated. That doesn't sound like a good time. Or I can surrender and make addiction my purpose. Post videos every day to help other addicts. Go show up at meetings. Be of service. Find a service position. Whether it's because I'm chairing a meeting, or whether I'm, stacking chairs, or whether I'm greeting people at the door, or whether I'm just saying hi to a newcomer, or raising my hand to show the program works. These are all ways that we can be of service, guys. Whatever. I can choose that. I can embrace that, and I can bring the best version of me to bear on that every day. Then I can practice these principles that have worked so incredibly well in this area, right? I mean, I've beat the devil. Like, I've had one of the worst habits I've ever, plenty of people have worse. I had a monster habit that was 3, 4 decades old, and I've walked away from it like nothing, right? Again, with medical assisted treatment, with God, with recovery, with my peers. But again, it's not holding me back in any way, shape, or form. All the things, all the roadblocks I put in front of me, all the legal things I put myself through, none of that is holding me back because I've surrendered it to God. And He's shown me a new way to live. But again, it doesn't mean I'm ever going to be cured of addiction, and I'm okay with that because I found my purpose. Guys, again, I hope you understand what I'm saying this. I'm saying it's all perspective. It's all, how you choose to look at reality. I got an 800-pound gorilla on my back the rest of my life. Oh, throw in the towel and be all pessimistic. Or I can take this and say, okay, well, how can I make this my superpower? Use it to my advantage. Make a show of how well I can do to encourage others and invite God's blessings in my life in every way, shape, or form. Like, we all have choices. I had to forgo a lot of things that I thought back in the day that I couldn't be without. Guys, you can. Like, I know change is hard and change is scary, but change is also the best thing that can possibly happen. Once you embrace it, once you start working a solid program, like, it just gets so much better. And that's like my overwhelming message. I can't even begin to, I rationally understand I was in addiction. But now that I see what's possible on this side of things, and it doesn't mean it's easy, doesn't mean it's a walk in the park, guys. I have a business that's starting to thrive. I'm still a one-man operation. I'm over, I was on the phone till 10 o'clock last night after being out from Sunday to Tuesday. Yeah, it's tough, but I pick and choose my responsibility. I've chosen a service business because, again, my life is about service. I've chosen to take on contracts and have responsibilities that require me to answer the phone all hours of the day, go out and respond to emergencies in people's houses, and now we're having one of the worst winters we've seen in decades. Okay, it is what it is. But again, rather than feeling overwhelmed, I go, okay. I keep it in the moment. When I start to feel overwhelmed, I take a step back. I try to practice being more efficient, and then I thank God because you know what? He's showing me, and that's the beauty of it, guys. I look for the lesson in everything. I look for the good in everything. God's showing me just how strong and how fast and what I'm not only capable of, but what is possible for me to be able to go out and do in this world. So I have the confidence to take on bigger jobs and step up and eventually maybe grow my business into a corporation. Like, either way, we're building an empire here, and I'm honored to be at the helm of it. I can't believe I can honestly say today, I'm honored to live my life as an addict. Like, I don't hide from it. I wear it as a badge of honor. And because of that, my life is thriving in ways I never dreamed possible. Every one of you can do this, guys. Find your path. Don't try to do it. And that's the thing, I don't do it on my own. I'm part of a community. I have a recovery coach. I have a therapist. I have a recovery advisor. I have a home group. Like, I go on speaking commitments. Like, I've made recovery my daily practice because I have to. I could, if I abstained from everything, stop doing videos, stop going to meetings, stop praying, stop meditating, 1 week from now, my life would be in shambles. There's no question of that. As strong, as centered as I am today, I know if I stop working this program, it goes away in the snap of a finger. So we got to be careful of that, guys. I'm an addict every day. I'll always be an addict every day. Doesn't mean I can't thrive. It doesn't mean I'm not, it doesn't mean anything other than I have to practice my recovery every day. As long as I do that, the sky's the limit and I can do anything I want. Guys, that's the video for today. Thank you so very much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.